Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome back to another What's for Dinner. I'm gonna share 3 easy and delicious meals with you. I am really excited about this week's What's for Dinner for a couple of reasons. Number one, tonight's dinner is going to be a soup that is a family favorite of ours, and I haven't had it yet this fall season, so I'm excited about that. We're also gonna have some cornbread with it. But another reason why I'm really excited about this week is because I am collaborating with one of my very best friends in the world, Mackenzie. Mackenzie is doing a What's for Dinner over on her channel as well. She always has super easy and delicious meals that she shares, and I believe all of hers are in the Crockpot this week. I've got at least 1 Crockpot meal this week. I might have 2. It just depends on which ones I end up choosing. But not all of mine are, but I'm pretty sure all of hers are. And she is just a sweetheart. We've been friends for several years now, and I absolutely love her. You want to just be in the shot while I'm talking? Aw, he loves me. What you want? Yeah. So like I was saying, Mackenzie and I are extremely close. We live in the same county, so we're able to get together fairly often, and I just love her. She does a lot of grocery hauls on her channel. She does a lot of new finds on her channel, so she'll go to Walmart and find all the new things, or Sam's and find all the new things. And then she does What's for Dinners too, so go check her out. After you're done watching my video, go to the description box. I will have her video linked, so you'll get even more dinner inspiration over there. But let's get started on tonight. Tonight I'm making loaded baked potato soup. It's my daddy's recipe, and it is so good. And we're having cornbread as well. Now, let me tell you, Steven is out of town. He has been out of town since last Saturday. It is now Friday. I miss him, and I'm so ready to see him. He'll be home in like an hour. He has no idea what I'm making, but this is one of his all-time favorite soups too, so I thought I would have this on the table when he walks in. I'm hoping my timing is gonna be right. We'll see. But let's get the cornbread in the oven first, then I'll do the soup, and hopefully I'll time it right so when he walks in the door, we can sit down and eat. Really quickly, just to save time, I'm not going to show you how I make my cornbread. I've shown that a couple of times here on my channel. I will link it below, so if you want to go check out my cornbread recipe, don't worry, you can still have that. I'm just not going to show it today, just for time's sake. Okay, here is everything you're going to need for this loaded baked potato soup. I call it loaded only if you end up putting bacon bits and cheese and all of that on top, but otherwise it's just potato soup. But it's the best potato soup of life. You're gonna need some chicken broth, 6 large baking potatoes, 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm probably not gonna use this entire onion because it's pretty big, probably half of that onion. Some salt and pepper, some garlic, this entire 16-ounce tub of sour cream, and we're gonna need, I think, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. That's it. Let's get started. After I peeled my potatoes, I cut them into about 1-inch cubes, and then I also diced this onion and put that in there. I'm going to put enough water in here just to cover everything, and then I'm going to boil these for 12 to 15 minutes until the potatoes are fork tender. Okay, now that I have drained our potatoes, I'm going to add in 4 tablespoons of butter. I'm also adding in about 3 cloves of garlic, so a couple of tablespoons. And I'm gonna add in 1.5 cups of chicken broth. Now at this point, you can do whatever you prefer. I mash about half of this, and then I leave some potato chunks in here. It's just whatever your preference is, how creamy you want your soup. Now before I put it back on the stove, I'm gonna add about 1 teaspoon of salt and about 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, let's take this back to the stove. I'm gonna turn my stove back on to about medium-high heat. This is going to start bubbling and it's gonna pop, so just be careful. Constantly stir it. You want to babysit this. That's another reason why I went ahead and did our cornbread first, so I wouldn't have to walk away from this. So I've got it on medium heat. I'm gonna stand here and stir it and let it heat through for, I don't know, 5 minutes or so. The recipe says 10 to 15. I have never stood here for 15 minutes. Okay, I'm about to add in a cup of heavy cream, but I did want to say, depending on the size of your potatoes, if your potatoes were rather large and this gets too thick, you can always add a little more chicken broth. Mine is at like the perfect consistency right now. It's not too soupy, but it's not stiff either. So I'm gonna add in a cup of heavy cream, and we're going to let this heat through and come back up to a bubble. I haven't shaken it yet or anything. Thank you, honey. Did it come out okay?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a little bit of a different consistency, but not much.
What do you mean? I did it the same. Okay, this has been bubbling and simmering for just a couple of minutes. I'm gonna let it come back up to a bubble now, and as soon as it does, I'm gonna add in 2 cups of sour cream. Okay, we're just gonna let this heat through. That sour cream cooled it down a good bit. And once it heats through and comes back up to a bubble, it's gonna be time to eat. Y'all are not gonna believe what I did. Maybe you will. I was in a hurry. I was trying to rush so that everything would be ready when Stephen got home. So, he is putting the cornbread onto the plate and he was like, it has a different consistency. And I was like, well, I didn't do anything differently. So he cuts into it and he's looking at it funny and I'm like, what? And I come over there and I look at it and it looks spongy. Y'all, instead of self-rising cornmeal, I used self-rising flour. I was in that much of a hurry that I just used that. It's like a big biscuit. A skillet biscuit is what I made. It's actually really good.
It's not bad.
No, but it's not cornbread. So there's that.
It's not bad.
I will link the true cornbread recipe below. But just know if you accidentally use self-rising flour instead of self-rising cornmeal, it's like a big biscuit. It'll be okay. Welcome home, baby.
Yeah.
I brought you home to some skillet biscuits.
It's a good welcome home dinner.
It is. It's one of our favorites.
With skillet biscuits, which I've never had before in my life.
I cannot believe I did that. It's the best potato soup there is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Creamy bacon flavor. It's a really fluffy buttermilk biscuit.
Gracie Lou.
I would rather have this biscuit with this potato soup than the cornbread.
Well, yeah, I meant to do that. Okay, y'all, it's the second night of the week. Tonight, I found a recipe using all ingredients that I already had on hand. It's just been one of those weeks, and getting to the grocery store has proven a little difficult. I had all the ingredients for the other 2 recipes that I was making, but I needed a 3rd recipe, and I found this one, and I'm pretty excited about it because it is super easy, and more than likely you have all these ingredients on hand too. This is called Cheddar Ranch Chicken. Before I flip you around and show you everything that we need, I also wanted to let you know I'm going to do a side of just steamed broccoli, like the broccoli in the bag in the freezer. And I'm also going to do Instant Pot mashed potatoes. This will be my 2nd time doing that. I love it because it's only 1 pot that's getting dirty. I'm not boiling the potatoes and pouring them into a colander and getting all these different things dirty. It's all going into the Instant Pot. And Cole and I both agreed that they were the creamiest potatoes we have ever had. Stephen was out of town when I made them, so I'm excited for him to give them a try. Okay, for the Cheddar Ranch Chicken, I'm just gonna need this casserole dish, a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, about 1/4 cup of cheddar cheese, I have probably a little more than that, 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs, 2 tablespoons of ranch powder. I need some Pam, and then of course our chicken. Okay, it doesn't get much easier than this. I'm just going to put our chicken into the casserole dish. I am gonna spray it with a little bit of Pam first. This was just 2 large chicken breasts, like super large chicken breasts that I cut in half. One step it doesn't call for, but I'm gonna do it because I always do it, is to season the chicken. You could season it with just salt and pepper. I'm gonna go grab the Auntie No-No's, which is just a seasoning blend, and sprinkle that over my chicken. Okay, our next step is to just mix the topping. I'm using a 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. I'm pretty sure if you don't like mayonnaise, you could sub sour cream here. Now I'm gonna add in our 2 tablespoons of ranch and our cheddar cheese. Mix this together and I'm gonna put it right on top of our chicken. I'm gonna try and spread this around as much as I can. Lastly, I'm just going to sprinkle my panko breadcrumbs on top. And we're gonna spray that with a little bit of spray, Pam spray. This is canola oil. Okay, this is going in the oven at 425 for about 25 minutes or until our chicken is done. Okay, so I'm gonna get started on my Instant Pot mashed potatoes. I just learned how to do this the other day when I watched one of the Six Sisters Stuff's video. I really love their videos on Instant Pot and I'm definitely getting less scared. Ooh, there's a bad spot on that one. I'm definitely getting less scared of it, but it's just gonna take some time. So I'm gonna peel my mashed potatoes, or peel my potatoes. I don't like the peeling on. I know a lot of people don't mind it, and that would definitely make it a lot faster. But I'm gonna peel these really quickly and chop them and throw them in the Instant Pot. Okay, now that I've got my potatoes in there, I just did 5 potatoes. I think you can do up to like 12 potatoes. I'm gonna put a cup of water in here. Okay, now I've got my cup of water and my potatoes in here. I'm gonna pressure cook this for 10 minutes. It sings to me. I need to turn the sound off. I'm going to pressure for 10 minutes, yep. All right, I'm gonna let that do its thing. And it should be finishing up right around time that our chicken finishes up. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is quick release. It's been 10 minutes. I just learned that this little hole here is to go on here. Now what I'm gonna do is just drain the excess water out of here. Now I'm just going to add in some butter, maybe about 3 tablespoons total. Some salt and pepper. And I always like to add a little bit of garlic powder as well. And lastly, I'm gonna throw in some milk, maybe like a 1/2 cup or so. And I don't even mash these up first, I just go straight in with my hand mixer. Okay, I think we are ready to eat.
What does that look for?
I'm trying to figure out what it is. I don't know what's on top of this thing, but it's delicious.
So there's mayonnaise, ranch powder, cheese, and then panko breadcrumbs. They're speechless tonight, y'all. I don't know if that's good or bad.
That is good.
Yeah?
That's really good. It's very flavorful. I don't know if I've had anything like that before.
Awesome.
It's really good, yeah. You get a little bit of the ranch dressing in there, but not much. It doesn't taste like ranch, but it's really good.
So I'm getting a thumbs up from this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Just one?
Wait.
Oh! I have to agree with the boys on this one. The topping to this chicken is amazing. It is so flavorful, so good. They're almost done. It is the third meal of the week, and y'all know what that means. It's subby supper night. In case you can't tell, I don't have on makeup. I know you can tell. But I'm not feeling my greatest today, and I'm so thankful that tonight's subby supper is a crockpot meal. That means I get to throw it all in the crockpot and not have to stand over the stove when I'm not feeling my best. Tonight's subby supper is called Mexican cheese soup, and it comes from Chelsea. Chelsea and her husband Brandon have been married for 6 years. They have a 4-year-old named Griffin, and she homeschools him. She said Griffin loves trains. They live in Lookout Mountain, Georgia, and she said as far as football goes, go Vols. My dad loves the Tennessee Volunteers as well. And she really enjoys finding new easy recipes, especially crockpot recipes. So we're really excited to give this one a try. She said it's a favorite of theirs. It looks super simple and super yummy. And I thought I should clarify, my dad is a Clemson Tigers fan first, but he also loves the Volunteers. Okay, now let's go cook. So really the only cooking part I have to do before I put everything in the crock pot is to cook up this pound of ground beef. The recipe does not call for onion, but we always love to cut up onion and brown it with the ground beef, so that's what I'm gonna do. And then the rest is just kind of throwing it all in there and forgetting about it. I've got my onion chopped. At this point, you would chop up your jalapeno if you were using one, and y'all know I love jalapeno, but the one that I had in the fridge had gone bad, so we aren't adding jalapeno this time. One other thing I need to do is I've got this 1 pound of Velveeta cheese. I am going to cube it, and I've got our skillet heating up over on the stove, and while that's doing its thing, I'm gonna cube this really quickly. Okay, our skillet is nice and hot. I'm also gonna go ahead and add in our onion. While I'm waiting on this to brown up, I'm gonna go ahead and open all of our cans. Each of these cans, the recipe said, does not need to be drained, which makes it even easier. The recipe calls for a pack of taco seasoning, so I'm just gonna use about 3 tablespoons. The recipe doesn't specify when you're supposed to put it in, but I figured I would go ahead and just put it in with my taco meat here, or my ground beef here, instead of trying to just stir it in with the unmelted cheese. I just feel like that would be a little bit harder. So I'm gonna add that in here. Okay, that is almost done. We're gonna let it finish up and head over to the crock pot. Okay, let's put all of our ingredients in here. I'm gonna spray it first with a little bit of Pam. First, I'm gonna add in our cheese. Next, I'm gonna add in our ground beef. I'm just gonna kind of drain it as I go. I've got a can of corn that has not been drained. It's only 8.5 ounces. It's not the larger can. A 14.5 ounce can of diced tomatoes with green chilies. A can of light red kidney beans. And 1 can of stewed tomatoes. This is 14.5 ounces. This is where you would throw in your jalapeno if you had that. And you know what? Since we don't have the jalapeno, I think I am gonna add a little heat to this. I'm gonna put in just a little bit of cayenne pepper. This is definitely optional. It's not even on the recipe, but just because we like things a little spicy. Okay, this is going on low for 4 to 5 hours, or you could always do it on high for 3 hours.
I like how thick the soup looks. It's gonna be really flavorful, I have a feeling.
Cole just said it's really hot, so be careful.
Be like very careful.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
Tons of flavor. I love the thickness. I mean, you can tell that it's going to be very rich in flavor because of the consistency of it. I love that, and it is packed with flavor. It's really good.
Yay, I'm so glad.
Oh, you're going to love it. Well, it's nice and spicy, but not too much.
I added a little bit of cayenne. It did not call for it, but I added it in there. You're welcome.
You did good. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, baby, so I've made taco soup for years, and this kind of reminds me of taco soup. Which one do you like better?
This is better than taco soup, in my opinion. It's better than taco soup. There's this creamy, rich flavor in this that you don't get in the taco soup.
Yeah.
Taco soup is almost reminiscent of just vegetable soup with a little kick to it.
Yeah.
But this is
Over the top.
over the top because of the cheese and the creaminess of it. It's really good.
This is delicious. Thank you so much, Chelsea. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. That really does help out my channel. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to join my YouTube family. Hit that subscribe button below. That way you won't miss out on any more of my content. If this is your first time here, if you came over from Carla Mackenzie's channel, I'm so happy you're here and I hope you're gonna stick around. Don't forget to go check out Mackenzie's video if you haven't already. I've got it linked below. Thanks y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye. If you have purchased the chopper that I've used before that I'm gonna use today, you should have gotten an email to your Amazon, whatever email address is linked to your Amazon account if you ordered it from Amazon. They had a recall on them. They said they are replacing them for you. So I have emailed them about getting a replacement. I haven't heard back from them yet. Hopefully I will. I haven't had issues with mine, but they're saying that the latch that locks the blade into place is faulty in some of the models, I guess. And according to what they have, my model is included. I don't have an issue with mine, but just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna request a replacement as well. Just wanted to give you that heads up because I know a lot of you have ordered it. I love it, absolutely adore it. So I haven't had a problem with it. If you have, there's your solution. It's free, just contact them.